You ever notice how a relationship can look perfectly fine and still feel like a cold house? Two people, same bed, same kitchen, same routine, and yet the room feels empty. He's quiet, not in a dramatic way, in a battery-removed way. She's tired, not sleepy, tired like someone who's been managing reality alone, and both are thinking the thought they don't say out loud. Is this what love becomes? Here's the revelation nobody wants to admit. Modern love is being forced to replace community, and it's collapsing under the weight. We don't just want a partner anymore, we want a best friend, a therapist, a co-parent, a teammate, a motivator, a witness, a home, a future, all in one body. And when that system fails, it doesn't fail evenly. Men often withdraw into silence. Women often burn out into resentment, not because one side is worse, because each side is responding to the same drought, with different survival strategies. The West built a world that's extremely efficient at living and surprisingly bad at belonging. We moved away from family. We replaced third places with subscriptions. We traded neighbours for followers. We traded shared rituals for private routines. And then we acted surprised when the average person started feeling hollow. Pew Research found about 1 in 6 Americans say they feel lonely or isolated all or most of the time. And the headline is interesting. Men and women look similar on loneliness rates. But the pattern underneath is different. Women tend to reach out across a wider network for emotional support. Men less so. That difference matters because loneliness isn't just sadness. Loneliness is load. When you don't have a network, your relationship becomes the only place pressure can go. So every stressor in modern life, money, work, health, identity, gets dragged into the relationship and demands to be processed there. That's the loneliness economy, a world where connection is scarce and romance becomes the emergency shelter. Here's what no one teaches you. A relationship is not designed to be your entire social ecosystem. Historically, it never was. Your nervous system expects a circle of people, a place you belong, multiple sources of meaning, multiple outlets for emotion, multiple mirrors to reflect your identity back to you. But the modern couple is often trapped in a two-person bunker, and inside that bunker, every conflict becomes existential. A dirty kitchen doesn't mean we're messy. It means I'm alone. A late reply doesn't mean he's busy. It means I'm unsafe. A quiet night doesn't mean peace. It means we're disappearing. And once love becomes the only oxygen source, both people start conserving air. That's where the split begins. Men often cope with loneliness through containment, not because they're emotionally stupid, but because they're trained to treat emotion like a liability. For many men, showing uncertainty feels like losing rank. Needing reassurance feels like surrender. Talking about pain feels like handing someone the weapon. So the male survival response becomes, I'll handle it, I'm fine, it doesn't matter. And this is where the data gets ugly in the US. Gallup reported that 25% of US men ages 15 to 34 felt lonely a lot of the previous day. So you have a generation of men learning to carry loneliness quietly, and then we wonder why they struggle to be emotionally present partners. A man who has no tribe does something dangerous. He makes his romantic partner the only witness to his life. And when the relationship gets tense, he has nowhere to go emotionally. So he goes where he can still feel control. He goes quiet. Not always as punishment, sometimes as self-defense, because silence is the one place he can't be interrupted, corrected, or judged. But here's the tragedy. Silence feels like stability to him, and like abandonment to her. Women often cope with loneliness through over-functioning. They organise, they plan, they manage. They monitor the emotional temperature of the house. And when a woman becomes the manager of everything, she starts feeling a specific kind of isolation. I'm not alone physically, I'm alone in responsibility. It's not only chores, it's the mental load. Remembering, anticipating, tracking, coordinating, carrying the future in your head. And when she feels alone in responsibility, she does what most humans do when they feel unsafe. She tries to create certainty. That can look like repeated conversations pushing for clarity, checking tone, asking, "What are we?" Making lists, asking again, trying harder. And men often hear that as criticism. Women often experience it as survival, because for many women, love isn't only romance, it's reliability. So when the relationship becomes unpredictable, the nervous system treats it like danger, and that's how tiredness forms, not because she hates him, but because she can't rest inside the relationship anymore. Now watch what happens when these two survival strategies meet. He withdraws to find control. She pursues to find security. He gets quieter. She gets louder. He feels judged. She feels abandoned. And the relationship becomes a loop. He feels pressure. He shuts down. She feels shut down. She escalates. He experiences escalation as disrespect. He retreats further. She experiences retreat as betrayal. She escalates harder. Eventually, every conversation turns into a trial, not a connection, a trial. And once you're in a courtroom relationship, nobody speaks to be understood. They speak to win, or they stop speaking entirely. This is why the modern advice, just communicate, fails so often. Because the issue isn't vocabulary, it's safety and load. If you're drowning, talk about it becomes another demand. If you're carrying everything, be patient becomes another burden. So couples start using the only weapons left: silence, sarcasm, passive aggression, scorekeeping, emotional withholding, moral superiority. And the saddest part is, both people still want love. They're just too depleted to access it. This is where the psyche-depth truth lands. Many couples don't need more romance. They need more structure and more community. Protocol Rule 1. Stop making your partner your entire ecosystem. If your partner is your only deep connection, your relationship becomes a pressure tank. Non-negotiable. Each partner builds two external pillars. One people pillar, friend group, league, faith group, hobby community. One purpose pillar, gym program, class, craft, volunteering, project. Not optional. This is emotional plumbing. Protocol Rule 2. The weekly state of us, 30 minutes. Same time weekly, phones away, calm setting. Agenda, no freelancing. One win from the week, gratitude. One weight from the week, stress. One request each, behavioural, specific. Ownership check. Who owns what next week? This converts nagging into governance and converts silence into participation. Protocol Rule 3. Two scripts that prevent the spiral. If you're withdrawing, common in men, I'm getting flooded, I'm not leaving, give me 30 minutes, then I'll talk. Then you return, always. If you're escalating, common in women, I'm not trying to control you, I'm trying to feel safe with you. Can we schedule this talk for tonight? Scheduling is the antidote to panic. Protocol Rule 4. Mental load gets ownership, not help. Helping keeps one person as manager. Instead, divide domains. Meals, laundry bills, kid schedules, cleaning, social plans, family obligations. Ownership means you notice it, plan it, execute it, no reminders. Protocol Rule 5. Ban contempt. It's the relationship toxin. Banned. Eye roll, contempt, mocking, name-calling. I'm done threats mid-argument. If contempt shows up, pause and reset later. Protocol Rule 6. Build micro-connection daily, 10 minutes. 10 minutes of no problem-solving, no logistics, no phones, just presence. Because the real opposite of loneliness is not talking, it's being seen. Protocol Rule 7. Raise the stakes responsibly, mental health line. If someone is isolating severely, collapsing, or showing warning signs, don't moralize it, support it, address it, get help. CDC data shows suicide is a major issue in the US, with the burden heavily male. This isn't to scare people, this is to remind you, quiet can mean pain. Here's the final truth. A lot of couples believe they're failing because they chose wrong, but many of them are failing because society quietly removed the village and then told them love should handle it. It can't. Not alone. So if you want a relationship that lasts, you don't just date better. You rebuild connection outside the relationship so the relationship can breathe again. Because when people stop being socially starved, they stop treating love like a life raft. And love finally gets to become what it was always meant to be. Not your entire world, but your home inside a world.